It's noon on Thursday. It's been a hell of a long morning. My brother Austin just left to go pick up some lettuce that we're getting. And yeah, I'm just now like, whew. But I'm really excited to play around with these ND filters. In case you missed yesterday's vlog, I bought some ND filters for the Pocket 3. These are the K&F Concept. And it's a 3-pack plus a CPL filter. Again, still don't know what that is. We'll figure that out later. But the ND filters are basically sunglasses for your camera. Now, right now, the camera's on full auto. It's running at like some crazy high shutter speed, so you're not getting any motion blur, right? You can basically see my hand, right? Higher the shutter speed, the faster it's, that's for fast motion, right? Our eyes and what cameras in cinema typically do is a lower shutter speed to get that nice, motion blur in the background and when you're moving around. In order to achieve that in bright sunlight like this, you need to put an ND filter on your camera. I'm gonna show you exactly what this is gonna do because we have perfect sunshine right now. All right, so this is what it looks like when you have the shutter speed at 1/50th and the ISO at 50. I'm in a snowstorm, but when I attach an ND filter, you'll see what it does to the image. Now this is the 16, this is the lowest one. Not bad, right? Big difference. But if you can see, I'm still overexposed. That's still overexposed. So that is why we have multiple ND filters. So we're gonna go down. These really are tricky to get off, aren't they? So this is the 64. Much better, much better. Now you can start to see some detail in my face, right? You can actually see the concrete there. You're actually getting some shadows on the opposite side of my face. This is a much better exposed image. Now let's get crazy. Let's try the 256, shall we? Now see, that one's too dark. This is where the having an auto ISO would be beneficial because the ISO would need to go up. So this is where testing comes into play, right? So 256 is too high, 64 was kind of the sweet spot. There we go. So now, because we're at that 1/50th shutter speed, right, my hand is blurry. The cars that drive by are blurry. That is going to give us the cinematic look that we want, that we're trying to accomplish, is by having that 1/50th shutter speed at all times. So now, when I pick you up and I move around to vlog, right, you're getting the standard motion blur. As these cars drive by, you can see there, right? It's not super crisp, which is not what you want. Not what I want. So there we go. The question is though, when the hell would you use 256? If I'm standing in direct sunlight and it was too dark, I wonder if it's like if I was like in the snow when everything around me was white. Maybe that's what that would need. I don't know. All right, so now we're inside and I'm getting some natural light coming from outside. I got fluorescence here on my right, off to my left, and a little bit behind me as well. But we're still locked in at 1/50 the shutter speed and 50 ISO. And I know when I put this back on auto, it wanted to put the ISO around 100 to 150. All right, it's in that kind of that range. So the camera still thinks that this is a little on the underexposed side, but I'm okay with that because I think it looks better. And in fact, I've been watching more videos about ND filters in the Pocket 3, and it's so crazy when they do a side-by-side comparison of full auto versus what they consider a well-exposed image. And I'm like, yeah, it is darker, right? Like it's no-brainer. It is a darker image, but it looks so much better. In my opinion, it looks so much better. And clearly, the person who made the video says the same thing. Like, this is what the image should look like. This is the picture that I want to show people, right? And I think a lot of times because cell phones, iPhones, Androids, everything's on full auto, we're letting the camera choose the exposure. It ramps up the exposure so that everything's bright and vivid and you can see every nook and cranny, and we're used to that now. Whereas if you actually stop and you look at, traditional photographers, traditional cinema, movies, like there's supposed to be shadows. There's supposed to be dark places. There's supposed to be things that you can't really quite see. You're kind of looking at it going, what's back there? I can't tell, right? Like there's supposed to be contrast. And I think we've lost a lot of that with everything being full auto. Now, with that being said, I am still a run and gun kind of vlogger, right? I use a Pocket 3 and a Nano and an action camera and my iPhone. I still shoot a lot of video with this because I need something quick and easy, fast, mobile, in my pocket, out of my pocket. Be able to set it. I don't want to be carrying around a giant DSLR with a gimbal. It's just not conducive to my lifestyle and the way I like to do things. So anything that I can do to keep this form factor and the size and the portability, but bring the image quality up to look, in my opinion, better, I'm all for it. And $25 for a couple of pieces of glass, I'm all for it. Now in here, obviously, I'm underexposed. There's not enough light going on here. I would need some kind of light coming off the left here to kind of bring some light on my face. I got some here, but not enough. It just, this isn't, to me, it's, from what I can tell, again, it's so hard when you're shooting D-Log M, but from what I can tell here, I would say I'm a little underexposed. Okay, so now I've doubled the ISO, putting it at 100, and this is a much better image. I feel like this is a good image. I'm still getting, you know, light, dark, some contrast there, but I don't feel like I'm underexposed. And so here I put it back on auto and it wants to crank up the ISO even higher. Right now I'm at 200 and I'm fully lit. Obviously, like everything's nice and bright, but after looking at that image here, looking at here, I would say that I'm probably slightly overexposed, and that's a lot of the reflections coming off of my computer screen. Okay, so now this is back down to 100, and I can definitely see how, because there's all this bright light coming off of back here, this is much brighter. I appear to be much darker. The closer I get though, more light going to my face. Again, I'm doing this in real time. I can't wait to put this on a computer and actually see it on a big screen with the color grading going on. All right, done with the camera talk. Thank you for indulging me and giving me a moment to do that. I appreciate it. I don't really nerd out about this stuff very often, but this is my hobby, this is my passion, and so I'm dipping my toes into something new with these ND filters, and I'm learning new things, and then I naturally want to share that with you. So thank you, I appreciate it. I've got a mountain of work to do here, so I'm going to put some earbuds in, put on some vlogs, and crank this out until basically 2 o'clock, and hopefully get out of here on time. Tiffany bought this for $1. Closeout. Unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I'm going to put it in our matcha mud water. I asked Grok this morning, what would be better in a matcha mud water? Unsweetened vanilla almond milk or regular coconut milk? And Grok said unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And it told me why. That's the best part about AI. When you ask, like, Chat GPT and Gemini and whatever, it doesn't just give you the answer, it tells you why. And I love that. So it gave me all these reasons why almond milk versus coconut milk, the unsweetened vanilla versus this and that. It'll bring out the earthy tones of the matcha and the mushrooms, and I'm like, done, son. It's all about context. Having context and the reasons for doing something. That's what the power of AI gives us.
25% better than ChatGPT 4 and costs about 4 times as much in the way of electricity and data. So those nice say that's like plateauing.
Done with today's workout. It's like legs and it's supposed to be abs, core, right? So doing a lot of workouts I've never done before on this day. But, I'm constantly trying to change things up and make sure I'm doing different workouts. I'm not doing the same workouts every 5 weeks. Obviously, I do repeat a lot of the same workouts. Chest, shoulders, tris, back, that sort of thing. There's always going to be like core exercises that you're going to use, that you're going to do. But then there's always the one-offs. I've never done it before, never done that before, never done that before. So that's technically the third workout for the week. But it's the second workout in this week's training. So technically I have one more workout to complete this week. So I'm gonna try really hard and do it tomorrow. If I can get out of work on time, that's just what it comes down to. If I can get out of work on time. It's just been so hard the last couple of weeks to get out of work on time. But if I can, then I'll go to the gym. Because tomorrow, the day you're watching this, we got a live stream. We got another live stream. I can't schedule it, and that's the problem. I can't schedule it because I just don't know what time I'm gonna get home. I don't know what time I'm gonna start the stream, right? There's just so many variables. So just be on the lookout for my live stream notification. And if you haven't already, be sure to turn notifications on. It's not guaranteed. People don't get every notification for every upload and every live stream. You know, YouTube has been very open about this, that there's a limited number of notifications they will send out for one channel as well as just in general, right? Like you can turn notifications on for every single YouTube channel you subscribe to, and you will not get every notification that day. Now, their philosophy behind this is that statistically, not every channel is going to upload a video the same day, around the same time. But if 2, 3, 4 channels upload a video within the same like 5-minute span, you're just not gonna get every notification. Now, I don't know the legitimacy behind this. I tend to get every notification that I see. Now, I only have notifications on for maybe like 6 or 7 channels, but I see them all. I also get notifications when someone replies to my comment or likes one of my comments. I get those notifications. I get them all the time. So I don't know I don't know what the limit is on how many notifications you can get a day. But either way, just know that notifications aren't 100% guaranteed, okay? Anyway, live stream Friday. Hopefully gym time Friday. Also tomorrow, I'm having my first one-on-one with my brand new YouTube partner manager. In case you missed the announcement, I have a YouTube partner manager now for the next 6 months. I'm hoping that it's not just a once a month thing, because if it's only 6 times we're gonna talk, I don't know how effective that's gonna be. But I will take whatever I can get, because at this point, all I want is to be able to talk to someone and say, hey, look, I've been doing this a really long time, okay? I, once upon a time, built my channel to the point where I quit my job, my wife quit her job, we made a lot of money, we got millions and millions of views. I know what I'm doing, but I need help on the logistics side and the YouTube side of things for the content that I want to create. Because at the end of the day, I want to be a day in the life vlogger, which I know is not popular, which I know is not trending, and I'm like ice skating uphill. But help me with do's and don'ts. Help me with, make sure you do this, make sure you don't do that. If you're gonna do this, then do it this way. Like that's the kind of stuff I need. I don't need to be told to, make sure you put a hook in the first 2 seconds and make sure the thumbnail is this and that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not what I'm looking for. For posterity, we are rocking the ND16, so that's the lowest ND filter. It's gonna take a while for me to get used to knowing what to pop on. So for now, I just open up the settings, see what my ISO is at, if it's on auto, and kind of see what the camera's looking like, and then slap an ND filter on and see, what to do. So I think I have my ISO set to 50 to 200. So our ISO is going up a little bit as it gets a little darker, because again, I'm outside, the light's kind of over behind me, I'm going in and out of shadows. So that's the tricky part when you're rocking this. But like when I watch other people's vlogs that use ND filters outside and they're walking like this, they go in and out of shadows, they go in and out of lighting. Lighting goes up and down. And so the overall look and feel of the video still has that kind of like deeper contrast, which again, is what I like, is what I'm going for. So this is kind of the first video out in the wild using these filters. So I'm really excited again to go back home and edit. In fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do when I get home from this walk, is start editing just so I can see what the footage looks like. But I wanted to go out for this walk and talk literally just so I could use the filter and see what the footage looks like. It's 4:45 p.m. The sun's going in and out of clouds. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't. It probably won't go. Yeah. need a stronger ND filter for that, but you can kind of see that. Ooh, see, that's really bright. See, I could use a stronger ND filter on this right now. I'm a little overexposed because I'm in direct sunlight. As soon as I get in the shadows again, it'll be perfect. But like right now, at this exact moment, I'm overexposed. I can tell. I need to slap on the 64 ND, you know? How you doing? Now, one thing I did want to talk about in today's vlog is titles. Some days, my vlogs have one concise topic. It's easy, it pops out at me. I'm like, that's what we're calling today's video. That's what the title is gonna be. Find a thumbnail that kind of matches that. Other days, I have 20 different things going on and not one thing just pops out at me like, ooh, that's the winner. And I'm like, what should I call this video? What should be the title, right? And that's when I usually ask AI for some help. Hey, here's the things that are in this video. Which one do you think I should use? And it kind of helped me craft a title. Then there's days that, okay, it's a 20-minute long video, 8-9 minutes are on this one topic. I talk about this one thing for like, you know, a vast majority of the video. And so I'm like, okay, that's what we're gonna call the video. And then the video does terrible. I can see right away within the first couple of hours, it's a 9 of 10, a 10 of 10, and it's just not getting views. And then after like about 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours tops, YouTube says, your subscribers are less interested in this video. They're clicking on it less, that sort of thing. And then I start to go, oh, damn, okay, well, could I have chosen a better title? And some days the answer is yes. I could have picked a better title, I could have picked a better thumbnail. And this is that kind of the joke that I always run with is, if I just put Bryce in the thumbnail, it'll get more views. If I just put Sierra Tiffany in the thumbnail, it'll get more views. It doesn't even matter what the title is. It doesn't matter what the title is. Just seeing their faces on the thumbnail gets more clicks. And so it's this running joke that it's like, well, the video can be about cameras, but just have Sierra in the thumbnail. Just have Tiffany in the thumbnail, right? And so I hate that because that, to me, is clickbait, right? And there's some days that it makes sense. You know what? There is really nothing else going on in this video, so let me just use, you know, the 30 seconds that Bryce is in the video, grab a thumbnail, and do some generic title, and it'll get views. People will actually click on it and watch it. Case in point, today's vlog. Today's vlog was about the camera, right? Getting my Pocket 3 gets sunglasses or something like that. It's doing terrible, right? And I understand the title and the thumbnail gives you the impression that we're talking about cameras and camera equipment. And the vast majority of my audience doesn't care about that topic. And thus proves the point that I have to sometimes reiterate to my hardcore fans that you're a hardcore fan. You will watch no matter what I post. You'll watch anything I post. But for the vast majority of everyone else, as I talked about in today's vlog, you have to pick and choose what videos you watch. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of videos uploaded every minute of every day. And you subscribe to dozens, if not hundreds of channels that potentially could upload every day, right? And if you don't get on YouTube every day, well, now you have a backlog, right? You know, maybe Joe only uploads Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if you don't watch his Monday video and you come over to Tuesday or Wednesday, now you got 2 videos to watch from Joe, right? I upload daily. I don't expect everyone to watch every video. I appreciate the hell out of those who do. So shout out to you for watching every single one of my videos. Whew. And if you watch the entire video, you're even more of a rock star because I talk a lot. But anyway, my point is that videos like today's just kind of shows the cracks in the entire YouTube ecosystem. Whereas, you know, content creators feel like they want to talk about whatever they want to talk about. But the reality is we have to pick and choose what we title our videos, what we put in our thumbnails, and now more than ever, what literally our videos are about, because the AI scans our videos. AI listens to our text and reads images and actually knows what the video is about and actually can recommend it better than any information I can give it. I think about like today's video that the title, thumbnail, and the description, everything's about ND filters for the Pocket 3. And YouTube says, well, Clintus isn't really a camera channel. Clintus doesn't really have any juice when it comes to camera equipment and ND filters and that sort of thing. So we'll recommend it to his subscribers. We'll recommend it to, you know, people that are interested in his videos. And we might recommend it to some people that are into cameras and see what happens. But not enough people click on that initial push So then they back off. They go, well, yeah, no, Clint's not an authority in this stuff, so we're gonna back off on who we push it to. And oh, yep, Clint's initial subscribers aren't clicking on this video. Well, we're not gonna push it to more of his subscribers. They'll get to it when they get to it. And that's what happens. All right, back to ND16 as I get into the neighborhood here. All I'm saying is I can't help think in the back of my mind when I look at numbers start coming in from a video, damn, I could have titled it differently. I could have picked a better title, right? I knew better. I knew I shouldn't have gone with that angle. Because even when I ask AI, right, and I'll plug in information and it spits out some of my results and says, well, if you want to go this angle, you can use these titles. Or if you want to go with this angle, use these titles. And I'm like, I have to make a decision, right? It's like choose your own adventure. Do I want to go with the camera angle? Do I want to go with the nostalgic angle? Do I want to go with the, empty nester parent angle? Now, the problem with that is, like I said before, in a 20-minute long video, maybe the empty nest thing is only 2 minutes. Maybe the nostalgic angle is only 3 minutes, but 9 minutes is about cameras. I feel like I'm doing justice and being honest and everything, saying, yes, in this 20-minute long video, 9 minutes are about cameras, so we're gonna title it about cameras. But if the vast majority of people don't click to watch it, then what's the point? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I title it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if I'm being honest. And that's where the dilemma comes in my brain. I feel like I should be honest. I should be like upfront, like, hey, if you don't care about cameras, then you probably aren't gonna like this video. And that's where I feel like that's the right thing to do, Clint. Good job. You should do that. And that's what I do. And that's what I do. But then I look at the numbers and I'm like, oh, damn. Okay, on to the next day, next video, Because obviously the entire video is not about cameras. The entire video is not about ND filters. There are moments where I sit down and I talk about something on my mind. I talk about a conversation I had with Tiffany or Sierra. There's these other moments that happen that people are missing out on because they choose not to watch the video because the title and thumbnail is about something that they don't care about. And that is the problem with daily in the life vlogs. That is the problem with daily vlogs. And that's the thing about the new style of vlogging that everybody talks about. One topic, one thing, because then you know exactly what that video is about. And if it's something that's relatable, if every video is talking about similar topics, then that's when you start getting that binge watchability, right? People start watching the videos because it's like, oh, well, this video is about Costco, and the next video is about Costco, and the next video is about Costco. I like Costco videos. I'm gonna keep watching all those videos. I talk about this because it's on my mind. I talk about this because it's there, right? It's like there's just this cloud over my head that I'm thinking about. But the reality is, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep doing what I feel is right and let the chips fall where they may. 9 p.m., wrapping up the night. Dinner was fantastic. Tiffany roasted some chicken thighs with some seasoning. I don't even know what the seasoning was. It was delicious. Roasted some broccoli and had some rice pilaf, which is very traditional, classic chicken dinner. Had dinner with Sierra and we just kind of caught up on our day, talked about, what's going on. Put my orders in for the night, sat on the couch. Tiffany fell asleep on me while I watched a couple of shows. And that's it. That's the end of the day. One last thing I did want to follow up with about the choosing of titles and our viewers kind of cherry picking our content. This is more for content creators, anyone that's listening that puts out videos here on YouTube. When someone watches one of your videos and they like it so much they choose to subscribe, they're subscribing based on that piece of content that they watched. And the assumption is that there's going to be more videos like this one. You're going to make more videos like this, whether it's about a specific topic, about a specific theme, or it's educational about something that they want more information about. They obviously going to check out your channel, see what other videos you have, and assume that there's this trend. So if you're known for making one type of videos, right, based on one topic, one theme, and then you make a video about something else, odds are that the majority of people are not going to watch that piece of content. And to be fair, and if you look at yourself and kind of analyze it, the same holds true for you as well, right? Like you like what you like certain things. If someone that you like does something that you don't like, where you're like, well, I like you, but I don't like that thing, so I'm just going to skip this thing that you're doing, right? We see it with actors, right? You love this movie this actor's in, you're like, man, I really like so-and-so in this movie. And then they go and do another movie and you're like, man, that movie sucked. I like so-and-so, but man, that movie they just did was terrible. That's kind of the gist I'm getting at. So my channel is built on day in the life, family activities, right? That's what my channel grew on as my kids were growing up and I was being a dad. Fast forward to today, my kids are not around as much. They're older, they're, grown up, doing their own thing. And so my videos get a fraction of the views that they once did. But when my kids are in the title and thumbnail, right, kind of indicating, hey, the kids are in this video, those videos get 2, 3, 4 times as many views, right? My normal daily videos are day in the life of my life. But when I do a video about a specific camera, something technical, right, very hyper-focused, not on like average day activities, it does less views. It is less views than the average, right? Because I'm not a camera review channel. The people who watch my videos and subscribe to my channel aren't here for camera reviews. Now, some of you find it interesting. Some of you find that interesting. And there's a slight chance that new viewers find my channel that have never heard of me before because of this one video about ND filters, the Pocket 3. But again, because I'm not an authority on the topic, and there's thousands of other channels that do camera reviews about ND filters and Pocket 3s, my video is not going to necessarily surface or be recommended to that many people about that topic. That's just how YouTube works. That's why certain videos can pop off and go viral. And you're like, what the hell? Why did this one video just quadruple in views? It's because it just had the right ingredients to get caught up in the algorithm and be recommended to the right people. And they watched it and they liked it and they enjoyed it and they shared it. They did all the things. They did all the positive triggers for the algorithm to go, keep pushing it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it. So anyway, I talked a lot about this on the topic. There's just going to be days where I want to talk about something specifically and not really talk about anything else or show anything else. And today was one of those days. But tomorrow's Friday, and Fridays are always good. Fridays are always fun. As I alluded to earlier, there will be a live stream, so be on the lookout for that. It'll be sometime in the afternoon or the evening. Last week we did one at 8 p.m., so there's a possibility that it could be that late, so be on the lookout for that. But ideally, hopefully, 3, 4 o'clock my time. So just keep your eyes open for that. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.